It is April 6th, 2022. This is Atlanta United FC Weekly, a Home Before Dark podcast.
Did that make a noise? I had to work hard at that
Yeah.
since it was a
Is that your pappy? Did you open up the pappy?
No.
Just for the podcast? It's a special return podcast for Kevin. He's opening up some pappy.
No, it's Weller.
Is that
Weller?
Sprite you're mixing it with?
Weller and Coke.
And codeine.
No, I mix with Pepto. Pepto-Bismol.
Gross. I just go
scissor.
straight for Pepto in my Scotch glass.
Yeah.
Anyway, I am Tim Herb. As always, I'm joined by my lovely co-hosts, Mr. Kevin Bradley at the top, and then Dan James down
How you
below.
doing, baby?
You talking with your New Orleans accent now? I'm disappointed. You ate a ton of oysters, but how many did you eat? Crawfish while you were down there?
No, we only went to one place. I was gonna go get some of the Viet Cajun. Like, the problem is you got to do crawfish with a group and do like a big seafood boil kind of deal, in my experience. And so I really wanted to go to the Big Easy seafood place, the like Viet Cajun seafood house, but I'm not gonna order 6 pounds of seafood for one person. So
That 6 pounds equates to like maybe a
Pussy.
quarter. Maybe equates to like a quarter pound of actual tails. So like,
yeah, that's true.
anyway, thank you guys for tuning in on an off weird night. Scheduling has been difficulties have been rearing their ugly heads as of late. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, thank you. Make sure that you hit the like, subscribe, notification bell icon. Let them send you a message whenever we go live, and then you'll, even if we go live on a Wednesday, you'll know about it. But if you guys are listening to us on Apple Podcasts, leave us a rating and or a review. We will read it live on the show. We have not gotten one in the past couple of weeks, so we shan't not read that.
Haven't we read one in like the past 2 years?
Damn it, Dan. I feel like we need to give away a scarf
Yeah, we do.
for Apple Podcast reviews.
Do we have any more left? I think
Yep,
we
I have
sold
like
them all.
3 in my office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll just.
It didn't say what kind of scarf, though. It's just a scarf, just a regular scarf. It has nothing to do with anything.
It's just like we sent
To
somebody an
make it
ascot, like a
right
Fred from
up.
Scooby Doo ascot.
Yeah.
I think that'll work. Thank you guys. We got Richard Gordon in the trap. We got Elliot Beaven, Carl Seggy, and Dirty Bird Person. How are you guys feeling right now? We'll talk about the game in a minute, but just another injury blow this week, tonight, courtesy of Dylan Castanera.
Tonight? What got announced tonight?
Dylan Castanera ruptured his Achilles in training today.
I
Yep.
did not hear that.
Yeah. So
Well, we had to complete the so a forward tore his ACL in Joseph Martinez, midfielder.
wait,
tore
did
his
Joseph tear
ACL.
his ACL?
No, like back when.
Oh,
And
I
then
was gonna say,
Hyman tore his ACL,
you're-
Alonso tore his ACL, and then a goalkeeper, Justin Garces, tore his ACL.
not
So-
Justin Garces. It was Dylan Castanera.
I mean, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just waiting for someone on the back line to do it, and then we'll get bingo.
As long as it's not Gutman or Miles.
Or George Campbell.
Or Alan Franco, to be honest with you.
I'm fine.
That's kind of messed up. He did have an appalling performance through a lot of that game on Saturday. It's hard to
Yes.
watch Alan Franco's performance on Saturday.
I think Campbell got himself into some trouble here and there, too.
Yeah, but yeah.
I don't think anyone's had a performance week over week as consistent or at the caliber that Gutman's put in every week this season so far.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. He's been the best person on our back line, but having Brooks Lennon back there again, right?
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah, they're gelling pretty well, those two.
but what do we do? Like, anyway, I guess we can get into it. So we, like you said, Ozzy Alonso, torn ACL, just, it looked so bad, just full speed collision, taking him out. kind of knew, like the second he was kind of calling for people, I think he kind of figured something serious was going on. He's not the type, I don't think, to really make a meal of something. Yeah, Dylan Castanera. Joseph is still being reevaluated, right?
I thought we were gonna hear something on Thursday, so
Okay.
that's tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
what
I
Brittany
heard.
says too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Brittany S said too.
Oh, good job, Brittany.
Yeah.
She got it before me.
And who am I missing? Who else is hurt?
So,
Josetto, 2 to 4 weeks, which is likely a 4-week injury. So,
yep.
But we should be any day from getting Aruju back, right?
yep. I would think so.
Yeah.
But let's not
And I
rush him
want to
back.
say Heinemann too.
Yeah, because Hyman's at least been practicing, so you would at least expect to see him in the 18 at some point.
Yeah, you would hope so. Yeah, I don't know. Eric Ferreira in the trap saying, "Are we stretching?" I don't know that we are stretching. Good grief, man. Yeah, it's the injuries are Steven Perales, all the injuries, getting injured, coming back from injuries. Yeah, that's all it is. I will say I had the thought today that if there was a time that Ozzie Alonso is going to go out, now's probably a good time. Not good time, but you know what I mean? Like now's better with Sosa getting back into the lineup and Ibarra getting back into the lineup, that we have coverage. And same with Josetto, right? Because like Sosa can step in, play where Josetto was playing, and then Ibarra can step in and play where Ozzie Alonso was playing. I didn't mean like it's ever a good time for him to go injured, but if
I heard you say that you were happy he was out, so it made room for Sosa
No,
and Ibarra.
we'll talk about that.
That's what I heard.
we'll talk about that in a minute whenever we
Both
talk
legs.
about Charlotte and how disrespectful Jessica Charman is. I'm sure she's talking
By
all
going
about,
on Kelly with Friends before coming on here, is that what
Oh
you mean?
yes, that is quite disrespectful.
Well, at least we've
fear
got
of-
some SGs that'll, be able to police that.
Yeah. Oh, a name I haven't seen in forever in the trap. Chris Fillingham saying it's sports, shit happens. That is absolutely correct. But again, Ibarra looks solid. Dude looks like he's put on about 10 pounds of muscle. Am I crazy? He looks big. And then Sosa was looking good too. So to me, I think that we're okay. It sucks to lose Ozzie Alonso. It sucks to lose his leadership on the field, his pragmatism, and just like, I don't know, his hard nose style of play, I guess. But I think being able to slot those guys back in is pretty useful.
Yeah, that's what I'm most upset about is, we were looking at him as the Jeff replacement, and now that veteran leadership in that critical location of the field is now gone. And you just hope that Sosa can fulfill that role as young as he is. But
would you rather see
we'll
Sosa or Ibarra in that position?
I see Sosa as more of a balancer in the midfield. I don't know. I think that's what I was seeing from Alonso, and I want Ibarra to go around and just break people's legs.
Yeah, he's Carmona, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just an enforcer. I don't know. How are you feeling about, like, is there anything, Kevin, that worries you more than the other with the injuries that we've seen? You blaming the turf?
I think Joseph right now, maybe. Of the group, I think that one's probably the most concerning, just because I don't think that there is a backup strategy for his position. And while Atlanta's continuing to find ways to score without needing to utilize him, he's certainly a key part in the offense. So I'm hoping that there's nothing severe that comes out of that. But to your point, I mean, with Ozzie going out, what sucks is that it's going to be a season-long injury, right? So you hope that you've got enough depth there that, God forbid, something happens to one of the others, whether it's Sosa, Ibarra, or Heinemann, or whoever, that you have somebody kind of there to fill in the gaps. So you've got pieces there to build around. So with his injury, Josetu's injury, stuff like that, I think that there's enough players either coming back or soon to come back that you can kind of weather the storm. The big question mark for me that would be concerning would be Joseph, and how long that is anyone's guess right now. And certainly with him having a lingering injury, coming back on recovery, and how long it took him to get to whatever percentage you want to say that he's at right now. I don't think anyone would argue that it's 2018 Joseph or 100% still. There's certainly the possibility that he's hindered in some way or more susceptible to hindrance because of all of that.
Yeah, I'm not very confident on Joseph ever like getting back to where he was. I think that I think Darren Eales went on 92.9 The Game and stated something along the lines of, it's not like it was something that they had discussed him doing a few weeks ago, not something that had been impacted as a direct impact from the game he just played or anything like that. So I think, and he's played well if he's had that sort of injury over the last few games. So I think, I want him on the field, obviously. I want him to get better, but I don't think we'll ever see the 2018 days again.
No.
So,
do we know, is Open Cup back on this season?
I think so. I don't know. I was just going to say, like, we brought in Cisneros to provide a little bit of depth, and he showed up at the training ground the other day, so I think he might be in the 18 heading up to Charlotte on the weekend.
Well, that would be good. Yeah, Kevin, to your point, USCC or US Open Cup is it's going on right now. It's in the second round right now. So
okay. So it is.
I don't know when we get inserted. Is it fourth round? Something like that. Whenever MLS gets inserted. Yeah, it's a bunch of teams that don't even have actual crests on Google. So
the only reason why I bring it up is kind of in line with Brent Crawford's point, which was I was looking forward to not playing Sosa to death this year. And, MLS season, especially whenever you factor in Open Cup and this random AmFam Insurance Cup that the team is putting on for this random match. The season's just international breaks, World Cup. I guess that's kind of after the season this year, right? Because the playoffs are in October. But it's just a long season, and it's going to take a lot of wear and tear on these guys. And we're only, whatever it is now, 6 games into it. So there's still a long ways to go.
Well, we've got the next year, don't we have the Leagues Cup next year? So we've kind of got to get ready for that. That's going to be another. God, can you imagine if we make it to Champions League and we've got that as well? It's going to be just an enormous amount of games consistently through the year. So surely they'll have to do something with squad caps or something like that.
Yeah.
Like increasing it from 30 or.
Yeah.
Maybe bringing in some extra TAM deals or whatever. So it's a lot. It's an awful lot.
Yeah, I wonder as we get further away from the pandemic, if MLS, obviously not this year, they're not going to change financials this year, but if, teams become more, I don't know, stable with revenue and all that, like if you're going to start seeing more loosening of the purse strings, so to speak, from the headquarters in New York, and hopefully start to see some of those restrictions opened up, because I don't know what teams are supposed to do whenever you're in 4 competitions at one time, potentially.
Yeah, to Eddie Bevan's point, just play the kids.
Right. Yeah. I don't know what you're supposed to do. Like US Open Cup, we should really just field Atlanta United 2 for the first round. We'll play Charleston Battery. It'll be what it is. Like Atlanta United 2 already plays Charleston Battery during the regular season, right? Just another game against them. Yeah. Just let it be so. Yeah, I don't know. I don't care so much about. I'd rather worry about CCL and obviously MLS regular season as opposed to anything else. But I don't know. US Open Cup just doesn't have. I know we've been reigning champions for 3 years, but it just doesn't have that illustrious feel to me. I don't know.
No, I agree.
It's stuff. All right, so you guys want to talk about Saturday? Talk about the game.
Yeah.
Sure.
What positives do you have from the game, Kevin?
Give me just a second. I'm having an issue with my AirPod. Go to Dan first.
No, I'm just kidding. Dan, positives from this past Saturday.
Improving defending set pieces. They had 10 corners, and we didn't let them score at all. And we had a couple of counters off them, so I feel like we're getting a little bit better there. I feel like we weathered the DC press pretty well. I was really surprised to see that we had the majority of possession, even when we were penned in our own half for the first half of the second half. And then really some real promising play from Almada and linking up with Brooks Lennon on the right-hand side of the field. There was some great, I think it was the 77th minute where he received the ball. He did like a 1-2 with Sosa on the edge of their 18 and then received the ball kind of awkwardly because it bounced off of a DC player, but managed to keep it on his foot and then passed it off to Jackson Conway, who I'm not sure if he just kicked the dirt or he just completely mishit the ball and left up a golden chance. And then there was another, I think a few minutes before that, he ended up pulling 3 DC defenders toward him, and he was able to just slot a ball past to, I think it went to Lennon. It eventually didn't come to anything, but it was really promising to see. And I know Matt Doyle compares him to Barco 2.0, but he's a lot more direct and seems to have a lot more vision than Barco does.
And I think that to Brent Crawford's point, his motor and getting back on defense, I think impressed me a lot too, because he almost looks like he gets a chip on his shoulder whenever he gets the ball, whenever he gets dispossessed, and he's like, I got to get that shit back.
Yeah,
he's chasing the guy down. You talk about him linking up with Brooks Lennon, but I saw the same thing. He was floating a decent amount, I guess, because I saw the same thing with him and Gutman, and that to me is, given the attacking ability and the speed of our wingbacks or fullbacks, I guess if you want to call them, they're basically wingbacks, right? Getting him comfortable and link up play with those two, I think is really important, because he, like, to your point, he's going to be a magnet or a vacuum for defenders, especially if Joseph Martinez isn't in the game, like with Jackson Conway. He's going to pull guys, and he's definitely going to open things up. His touch looks incredible to me. Like, I don't want to jump too much on it, but I did on Twitter. I posted that he's better than Barco was. I think he has a better tool set. I don't think they're the same player at all in terms of the way that they play. I think that Almada is, far more direct. Doesn't dribble aimlessly. Just he's trying to get involved constantly, and he looks like he's having fun out there too. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like he looks very much focused while he's out there, which is nice to see.
Yeah, for me, it was that first half. He got a couple of opportunities right in front of goal, and where some more eager players or players that were maybe a little more pressed or anxious to make a mark on the team would take a one-touch shot at goal or take a chance at a volley. He made a deliberate attempt to not only settle, but to get in a better position to make a more deliberate attack on goal, which I think speaks volumes about sort of not only his ability, but his awareness and field vision whenever he's in a position to do something like that, rather than just getting that eager, I've got a chance to make a crack at something. Let me make sure I'm taking the best chance I can at it. So,
I very impressed. This is first full match for us that I am just very excited about what's to come with him. Hopefully we can keep the pieces around him healthy, or keep him healthy, obviously, but like giving him options to play into. So you bring up the Jackson Conway whiff. Is there any, like, I'm trying to look for silver linings because Joseph doesn't seem to be in the best form. And like, is there any silver lining that Jackson Conway, at least to me, seems to be at least getting in the right position? Like, his positional awareness, I think, is pretty great. I think that if he doesn't mishit that, it's obviously in the back of the net. Like he's wide open. I think he just, what did he jackknife it? Just hit the dirt before.
He Manuel Castro'd it. I don't understand exactly. Like I haven't watched it back in slow mo to figure it out, but it just like he either hit the ground or it bounced at the wrong time just before he anticipated he was going to hit it. But he was so irritated about it as well. He does seem a little bit more, slightly more mature than I remember him. I mean, if he can get time playing, I mean, if we put him up top and start him and, take him and he gets consistent minutes, then that's going to really help his development. No more playing with the twos, but it's how, I guess it's a careful balance of how do you transition from Joseph Martinez? I guess like that's the problem I'm trying to solve for. And it's like, well, how much does Joseph have left in him? And can Jackson ultimately be that guy? Because I mean,
or do you even need him to be? Do you any good trying to force that versus getting Araujo, Moreno, Almada, all these guys on the field, and with the amount of goals that the team's been able to score so far without Joseph being the one doing it, if you can get those guys on the field and you don't have a set striker per se that's dedicated in that position, but that they're all kind of sharing that responsibility, is that potentially an option rather than relying on Conway to fill that role? If I had to decide between Conway or all of that firepower up top, I'm not, regardless of his position, it doesn't make any sense to me tactically if you're going to seat a more talented player just because they're not a striker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know, but I feel like we get all that on the field and Joseph or a Conway. So
yeah, I mean, and if you bring Araujo back in and you have Almada playing like he is, and I think we have not really talked about Marcelino Moreno's performance on Saturday, which I thought was outstanding. But you have him playing the way that he's playing. You have Almada playing the way he's playing.
Don't ask Doug Robinson how he played. That's for sure.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Was that Will on Twitter? That was hilarious.
So yeah, it was pretty great. Pretty great.
Yeah, but like those guys draw so much focus that it's going to help an unestablished or striker like Jackson Conway, who doesn't have the reputation. We're talking about hypotheticals here where Joseph doesn't play on Saturday, but
right.
Or is it Sunday? I can't keep track of my fucking days.
I think it's Sunday this week.
What? It is the 10th. It is Sunday. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, I just I personally like having a striker, and if not, having two wings and a forward. That, you know what I mean? Like having a hold up, like an actual target man. Maybe not target man, but because we don't want Adam John or Kenwin Jones playing, but
no,
at least having a dedicated striker, I do like, because I don't know that we're going to play two out and out wings outside of him, but yeah, I don't know. I want to give the guy a chance. I miss Brandon Vasquez so much.
Yeah.
The fact that he's leading the Golden Boot race right now.
Is he really?
5 goals.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
He has 5 goals.
He got back-to-back braces, I believe.
He did, and then he scored another one on Saturday. Yeah.
So part of me is, well, I guess he would have. Part of me was thinking, well, he probably wouldn't have got the experience with Atlanta United as he did in Cincinnati, but he would have been here during 2020, so he would have got all that experience. And it's only this year that he's really been coming. Well, this 5 games that he's come into his own, it seems like, because I don't think he did much in Cincinnati last year.
I don't think anybody did.
Oh yeah,
right.
I forgot about Dom Dwyer too. I mean, he's certainly an option.
Yeah, he comes back this week to Elliott Bevan's point. I completely forgot about him too. So he's probably the second option
I would think
behind
so.
Joseph. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, it's going to
I
be
completely
interesting to
forgot
see
about him.
where Ronaldo comes in because, I mean, you know me, I'm all about the money. It's Cisneros worth 700,000, Dom's worth 5, and Conway's worth 200. So, do you play it like that? Do you start if Joseph doesn't start? Do you start Ronaldo or bring him off the bench?
I do like I do whenever I play FIFA and I'm playing with a championship or League One team. I just put the young guy out there and just try and score goals with him.
Right.
Get him time.
Get that value up.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I mean, it's tough, right? Because Charlotte's playing fairly well right now. I didn't see. Yeah, they lost to Philly. Sorry, they lost to Philly this weekend. So maybe they got brought back down to earth.
Are they still bottom of the table?
No.
No, that's into Miami.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
absolutely.
about that.
Charlotte's 9th.
Gosh,
So they're ahead of Cincy. They're ahead of New York City. They're ahead of New England. They're ahead of Montreal. So
I forgot about New York City having only won one game so far this season. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, been tough times for them. Granted, Charlotte did it by like really fucking up relations with the Polish national team, winning last weekend, or not this past weekend, but the weekend before, because they refused, or they told the Polish national team that Karol Swiderski was injured, and then proceeded to play him.
Wow.
Yeah, kept him back stateside, and he scored a brace and beat Cincinnati. So, yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
That is really
especially in a World Cup qualifying campaign, right?
Yep.
Like for a player, if you're Swiderski in that, obviously this is an Atlanta United podcast, but we're playing Charlotte this weekend, so I think this is a little bit on topic. If you're Swiderski and your team refuses to send you on international duty when you get called up during World Cup qualifying, like, does that fuck with your head, or like, how do you feel about that situation?
Was he the one that said it? It's like, I don't want to go over there right now. There's too much shit going on over there.
Yeah, maybe.
Is he play for Austria?
Poland.
Oh, Poland.
Yeah. I think he's had a decent run in the qualifying that they've had. I mean, he has 6 goals and 14 caps for Poland, which for a national team,
it's pretty huge.
That's pretty damn good goal scoring record.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you go and look at any of the U.S. men's national team strikers, even like Landon Donovan or Clint Dempsey, like their goal scoring record's not that good. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of fucked up.
That is fucked up. I did not hear about that at all.
Yeah. They even posted, I think the Polish national team posted the letter from the Charlotte.
Had a doctor's note.
Yeah. Basically,
Nice.
yeah. It was the trainers, yeah.
I mean, yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah. To Carl's point, he said there are FIFA rules on that. If they didn't
Wow.
release him and said it was an injury, then they should have been unable to play.
But it's also up to the clubs as well. Like they can, if they choose to damage that relationship, then
usually with friendlies, though, right? Like you see that shit happen with friendlies. You don't really see it happening with meaningful games.
Oh, is it just friendlies? Okay.
I don't know. I've seen Liverpool hold guys out for friendlies because they're in the middle of like a title push or something like that.
Yeah, that's bizarre though because we're so early in the season. But I guess that's the way you want to run it. That's the way you want to run it.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway,
Yeah.
Marcelino Moreno was my standout from Saturday. Obviously, scoring the game-winning goal in stoppage time, but just like the slowest dribbling header I think I've ever seen.
Yeah. I think it stopped at the top of the 6 and rolled in.
Yeah. How many matches has he won at the death now? That's at least 2, if not 3
team
matches
the
for
team
us.
as a whole has gotten a result in 3 matches of the 5 so far this season in stoppage time. Whether
but
that's the draw or the 2 wins.
Moreno, I think, has 3 on his record in like the past 2 years.
He had this one, he had Toronto, and he had well, I guess Toronto he won 2-0, but he just drove the dagger at the end. And
there's
then,
another match he at least drew, if not won for us with like a header and stuff.
I think he beat Montreal 1-0 in the death with a header. And then did he do it to Philly? Did he tie it up with Philly? At one point?
I don't know. Where are our stat heads in the yeah. It was the guy is clutch. That's one thing I'll say.
I love him, man.
You want to talk about a direct player? That guy, he just takes the ball and goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like he's the anti-Barco. Like I feel like he is 100% the anti-Barco.
Well, he's a beautiful ball player as well. I mean, he'll dribble it around. He knows he's not as fast. He knows guys are going to catch him. So he's got that technical ability. And then the vision, I mean, just the amount of key passes that he's put together. I guess I could look that up and see what.
And just chance creation in general by putting himself into positions that defenders had to foul him at the top of the box to set up a free kick or something like that. You know, those are the other things that he's not actively going down every time he gets touched, but certainly putting defenders into compromised positions where they have to make contact, and he's going to go down and set the team up for a free kick. And he did that several times this past weekend.
Yeah, you can complain about it all you want as an opposing fan, but drawing fouls, legitimate fouls, it is a skill, and he is quite good at it. Like he is quite good at that. Yeah, he got knocked around a lot on Saturday.
Because, I mean, he's the type of player, because of his speed and his pace, that it's deceptive for defenders. And I feel like he's also got the ball control and skill that if you aren't physical against him, you're going to get burned with his talent. And he's going to beat most people in a one-on-one unless they do something to sort of get in his way and stop that forward progress. So
he's been one of, if not like the most important player on the attacking side the past few weeks for us, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, in shot creating actions, he's in the 90th percentile in the league. So, I mean, he's a guy we have to have on the field.
You remember when people were talking about him being like a sub? Like I feel like early on in the season, people were not sold on him being a starter.
I think there was some of that. I remember toward the beginning of last season, people were railing all over him, trying to, how he's terrible and should be benched. But I mean, that's the Gabriel Heinzer effect. But he's really started to get a lot more comfortable, and it seems like he's getting some more consistency both in the manager and squad, and kind of finding his role within this team, which is fantastic for us. So I'm excited to see more of it.
Do you guys think Pineda gives in to a 3-back moving forward with how good we looked with 3 in the back?
I think it's an option. I think that what's nice about playing the 4-back that you can get Gutman and Lennon higher up the field. And then you can start with that and see how it goes. And then if you have to move to a 3-back, then you can do that to shore things up a bit.
Because Alan Franco to me looked dreadful until he had coverage in Miles Robinson.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not willing to give up on Alan Franco yet. I know he hasn't been rated very well in the past few games, and he's making these really glaring errors that everyone is picking up on because they're horrible. They put us in a really bad position. But I think like throughout the life of the match, it's just because when a defender loses the ball or does something, a little bit ridiculous, then it's like, well, there it is. But I think that as he goes through the match, he's done. I mean, he got a shot, a header on. Well, it wasn't on frame, but it was pretty close. Yeah, I'm not ready to give up on him yet.
Kevin, how do you feel about that 3 back versus the 4 in the back? Given like the small sample size we saw. I mean, we saw 3 in the back last season, right? Whenever Pineda came in and he was trying to get a grip on the squad.
Yeah, I mean, at least with the 2 that you've got back there, with I'm assuming you've got Miles and Campbell back there as those 2, and then who's your third?
Bryce Washington, I think. We let Josh Bauer go. So Alex DeJohn, I don't know if he's healthy right now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's healthy. So we got Riles, Franco, Campbell, DeJohn, Ephraim Morales, Bryce Washington, and Caleb Wiley are both on loan. But Caleb Wiley's a left back.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But yeah, I mean, I think that Franco looks better in a 3 back than he does in 4. I don't know how you feel about that, Kevin, but
I don't know. I've just not been sold on Franco at all this season, really. He's not had a game or a consistent run of games that I feel like his performance has been what it was towards the end of last year. And we've all joked that it'll take him half a season to get warmed up. And he's certainly on pace to do so, because the first 5 games have left a lot to be desired consistently week over week. So as far as who we have back there to replace him in that system, and in either case, I don't know who that would be right now. And
well, it's got to be Campbell.
Yeah.
In a 2 back, yes, absolutely.
So I don't know, man. But speaking defensively and man of the match, I think I said it earlier. I think Gutman, for me, from a defensive standpoint, and just all around consistent performance week over week, and this week no exception. I really thought that that was the battle against DC in particular that I was most excited about, was watching him against Atlanta United's former Julian Gressel. And so that was a fun battle to watch throughout the night. And I think that Gutman consistently was putting himself into a good position to either win the ball or in opportunities where he wasn't so great. I think there was one where there was a free kick in, and he had to take 2 chances on it to get the clearance, but he ends up making up for it. But I think overall, he's consistently finding a way to get into position and make an impact at that left back position that we haven't had in a long time. So,
whoa, fighting words.
Look, man, I was huge on George Bello. I still think that I don't know. I'd be hard pressed to. I think that he may be. I'm just trying to think who all we've had. We've had Bello, Breck Shea,
Greg Garza,
Mikey Ambrose,
Garza, and Ambrose. Yeah, I think that very
Chris
small
McCann.
Sample size.
Chris McCann is
very
he's the
small
benchmark.
sample size, but
he's the high water mark.
I think I'd be hard. I would 5 games in, very small sample size, but right now he's on target to be potentially the best left back that Atlanta United's had.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, he's been our best player, I would argue. Yeah. I think there's a case for that.
No, I agree wholeheartedly.
So just going back to Alan Franco a little bit, he's he compared to other center backs in the league, he's in the 96th percentile in assists, 95th percentile in dribbles completed, 96th percentile in interceptions, 90th in pressures, 81st in aerials won, 79th in tackles. So, I mean, against the rest of the league, he's above average.
Yeah, but those pressures, those like 90% pressures, you saw that this weekend when one completely failed and he got lucky that they didn't get a goal off of it.
Oh, yeah.
He pressed, stabbed, and just completely over committed to that challenge. As a center back, to be that far out and to be caught out like that, that's got to be corrected.
I'm not making up excuses for his errors, because errors are errors. But
no, you're basically the MLS Defensive Player of the Year voter. You're looking at attacking statistics for a center back. Like,
that's it.
No, but what I'm saying is, I think
that's like, oh, this grass-fed beef has more vitamin C than corn-fed beef. It's like, well, that's not where you should be getting your vitamin C from. Like, it's not.
Yeah, but I think there are other areas in which he makes up for, apart from errors. I mean, Brad Guzan's due for an error every now and then.
Yeah, and that's probably more going to cause a bigger factor, or bigger issues than a center back having errors, but not much, right? Because you have a competent attacker that gets past Alan Franco when Alan Franco's 40 fucking yards up the field whiffing on a tackle.
without anyone even close to his vicinity
My
to
God.
back him up. And then, like you said, Tim, it leads to a breakaway that leads to a shot on goal where Guzan has to make a great save on the edge of goal to come up with it there. So it's completely unnecessary. Completely
And then because of that, Alan Franco's making Guzan look good, and then Guzan keeps his job.
But
I'm just
still
kidding.
takes a pay cut.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Did he take a pay cut?
Mhm.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
He took a pay cut so they could have a little bit of cap relief to
I say, like,
pay someone else.
we talk about his performance and needing, something more for the future, but it is. I think goalkeepers are such easy scapegoats, and I have to remind myself of that sometimes whenever I'm criticizing Brad Guzan, because they aren't always put in the best position.
They're another
No,
player
they're not.
just like anybody else on the field, and the other team has gone through 10 in front of them to get to him, and there's no issues there, right? So
Yeah.
they
I
just
don't
happen
know.
be
I'm
the
not ready
last
to
one.
I don't know which one of you said that, but I'm not ready to give up on Alan Franco, but because we've
No.
seen glimpses of it, right? But
Mhm.
to me, George Campbell, if we're playing two at the back, he and Miles Robinson have been a much better pairing, I feel like.
Agreed.
Oh, with Campbell and Miles.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what's going on with Franco. I mean, he's not the Franco we left a few months ago. I still think he's a better option compared with a lot of defenders around the league.
Yeah.
But I hope
Yeah.
he sorts his shit out.
Yeah, I hope so too.
It'll work out. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm less concerned about Franco and the defense. I mean, so we didn't talk about it. Did you guys recorded after the Montreal draw, right?
We did.
Yeah. So aside from that match, and I guess there was one other game, defensively, I feel like Atlanta's been pretty much fine, even with Franco's shortcomings. It's not like it's a liability where every single game for the entire game, you're just holding on for dear life, hoping that somebody doesn't break through. I don't think that Franco's missteps have been so bad that it's been a liability for this team. It's just whenever compared to Gutman, Robinson, and Campbell, it leaves a lot to be desired.
And
because
Lennon, right?
And Lennon.
Mhm.
It's not to that caliber, right? So it's statistically, it's not, if you're 90th percentile or whatever, for all of those categories, that 10%, whenever the other players are just slightly better than, I would assume, in those same categories, it's just more obvious, I think. And the one game, I forget who it was before the Montreal game. It was the 2-goal loss or 3-goal loss. Was that Houston?
Colorado?
Colorado, we lost 3-0, and
That was
weren't
the
there a
three-
few
yeah.
gaffes from Alan Franco? in
That was
game?
I feel like that game
Yeah.
aside, it's not been so bad.
I mean,
defensively
3-0
speaking.
to Colorado is granted. Colorado's a pretty good team, but still
Yeah.
losing 3-0 is.
That was pretty terrible.
I don't think
Yeah,
you can
but
just
Miles
sweep
got
that
a
aside.
red card. I mean,
Right.
He got that late in the game after they put the third goal in, though, right?
And it was also it was just defensively all
No, I guess
around. The team wasn't great. So again, it's not. I think Franco is going to be fine. Like you said, Tim, I'm not going to give up on him right now. I think the bigger focus for me is just trying to pay attention. And I think the team's got bigger concerns about what's going to shake out with all these injuries and stuff like that, particularly what comes out of the Martinez report. Sounds like a movie.
Martinez report. Yeah, but
The
I mean,
Martinez
it's a big report, Kev. I mean, we need to understand. Elliot Bevan saying Brenner wants to leave Cincy. That
I'd take
would
him
be
in a
huge.
heartbeat. Yeah.
Absolutely. I wonder if you could get him on a TAM deal because he's not been successful there.
I don't know. The injury bug, I don't know if you saw, but Dupuis tore his ACL as well.
Yep,
So
that's right.
you even flirt with joining Atlanta United. Out goes your ACL. It looks like, I think Joe Patrick made the joke, kind of tongue in cheek, but about how we need to start using the knees over toes guy, Ben Patrick, to start training the Atlanta United squad. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
Gotta do something.
Yeah, I don't know. How are you guys feeling going into Charlotte this weekend? Do you guys, obviously, I think we had somebody, was it JC? I don't know how you pronounce it, but buddy on Twitter asking if we're coming through this weekend. I can't imagine you guys are going to Charlotte for the game.
No.
Can't
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday at 1:30. Leave it like, I don't know, 7 a.m. Get there on time.
I mean, it's doable to do a day trip there for sure, but not this Sunday.
The energy expenditure is going to be.
Yeah, I don't have that in me anymore.
No, that Nashville day trip took it all out of me, man.
I can't wait.
And I drove.
Yeah, but I drank.
You guys got
You drove, I drank.
You guys got to drink in the passenger seat in the back seat because Tennessee has driver only open container in the car laws.
You're welcome.
Which is insane to me, but just pass the beer off to your passenger. Like that's so stupid.
That's like New Orleans. You can have daiquiris in the car. It's not an open container unless there's.
This is America, Tim. Don't tell me what I can and can't do.
Yeah, that's true. You left all those prudes, and you left the prudes in England to come here, and that's you didn't come here to get shut down. But you can't drink the daiquiris in the car in Louisiana, Kevin. You could go buy them in the drive-through. You can't.
That's what I'm saying. It's only an open container if there's a straw in it. You telling me you can't take the top off of it and just put it back on and be like, I don't know, officer.
I think they gave it to me half full.
I spilled it.
I spilled it.
Yeah. I'd feel like in Louisiana that a DUI is just like, a speeding ticket.
Yeah, only need a paper covering the straw in Louisiana.
New name in the trap. Yeah, Alex Saltiel. Oh, I was trying to put it up on the screen.
You trying to show the same time I did.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because my parents are in Northwest Louisiana. And they I remember seeing drive-through liquor stores and drive-through daiquiris and all that, and just being like, "This is kind of crazy." But they don't have a drive-through at their Sonic.
The crazy thing.
What's that?
Let's still give you samples at the drive-through, which is the crazy thing.
That was a great day when I discovered there was one of those like coming to America things where I discovered drive-through bottle shops. I was like, this is a great idea.
Yeah.
Though actually, I think I saw them in Australia first, but that doesn't matter. Yeah. So Charlotte, I'm going to watch it, but I'm not going up there right now. When I'm an empty nester, I'm going to go to 1 year. I'm going to go to every away game. Which is going to be fantastic.
You're going to become a flight attendant like Kevin Brown and just get your strategy in for buddy passes. And
I think he still holds the unofficial record for most away games, most Atlanta United away games attended. I'd be willing to bet.
Yeah.
Because he went to every away game that 2017 season, I think.
So jealous.
And he went to most of them for 2018 too, I believe. Yeah, I think he's got to hold some unofficial record for most games attended. At least most away games attended.
Yeah. It's now he's going to George Bellows games in Germany. So there's that.
Basically.
Yeah. Is he really?
Yeah. I don't know if he's permanently there, but he's been there for a while.
His stories are, even if he's not there, everything that I read on Instagram is in German. So
yeah, he and his wife have been
Auf Wiedersehen.
They've been there for at least a few weeks, and they look like natives there now, so or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know. I miss him. I wish he would come back.
Yeah,
I miss everybody. Dan. When was the last time I saw you, Dan?
Man, I don't know.
Right now,
I don't think I've seen you, Tim, since Hollis was born and he's going to be 4 in July.
That can't be right. You've been because you've been to our house.
I have been to your house.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in that house?
October of 18.
Okay. So I think I've been to
Tim,
that
that's
twice.
coming up on 4 years, dude.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
You're
I don't.
literally 6 months away from that being 4 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Shit's getting old. Getting old.
Yeah,
Gout's coming back.
I fucking
That's
hope
it.
not.
Oh,
He'll have to
fantastic.
start
Wow.
fusing his toe joints and just start fusing it all the way up the leg.
That blows my mind. I'm gonna have to at this point. Oh my
How's
God.
those Hokas?
Damaged, so I'm gonna send them back.
The Hoka Katanos.
Yeah, I bought a pair of Hoka Bondi 7s, and
What are those?
they're like really cushioned running shoes.
Like orthopedic shoes?
Yeah, fuck you.
You got
So
the-
what?
You got the Skechers scoops.
They do. So what?
Got the
Are
little
they
rocker
the
on it.
rounded ones?
Yeah, you got
Hold
the
on.
Sketcher. The
Hold
Sketcher.
on.
The
I'm
Sketcher
gonna-
rocking horses.
I'm gonna unsarcastically show you a picture of my shoes.
Have
Hold
you
up.
have you watched Kath and Kim on Netflix?
No.
I don't know what
It's
that
a
is.
fantastic Australian show, and their boyfriend goes power walking every time, and that's exactly how I'm imagining you. Oof, what is that? Like a good 3-inch heel?
Yeah.
Oof.
Hey man. Hey, man,
Tim,
they're,
I'm sorry, but I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
they're super comfortable.
Go back to it. I want to see those other colorways.
Oh, hold up.
Yes, Chief Coach Steve, you have seen me more regular than I've seen Tim.
That's kind of fucked up, Dan.
Yeah.
You want to see the other colors?
Go up. No, up from the orange. What's those? Oh.
Oh, Tim, you need to get those.
But they don't come in
Oh.
extra wide. So I need extra wide. I
Tim,
get two colors.
These sort of shoes seem like extra wide is just
Speaking
the
of extra
standard
wide.
size.
Okay.
Speaking of extra
whatever.
wide, you guys know what time it is.
The download. All right, so I had one more stat I was going to check. Now I'm not going to get it, but it was. Who cares? All right, so I just looked up a few stats.
How do I get
Uh,
Dan to be the person
You
on
click
here?
and drag the window.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Oh.
Atlanta United has allowed 59 shots, which is about 17th in the league. So we're kind of average on there. Charlotte has allowed 86, making them the second most. So we could get a whole bunch of shots on them. We get 15 shots on target, which puts us again 17th in the league. And these are all opponent stats against Atlanta and then Charlotte, respectively. Charlotte get 31 on target, second in the league. That's why they have to have an amazing goalkeeper like Kellner. And then percentage of shots allowed on target for Atlanta puts us at 18th with 30, and Charlotte has 36, and that puts them in 8th. Obviously, we can earn our yellow cards very well. We are, in fact, the opponents. When teams earn yellow cards against us, we're at actually second in the league. So there are 19 yellow cards that we have earned against others. That seems pretty high, but that's what I was looking at. I might need to check that out again. So I'm imagining we'll at least get a whole bunch of shots from outside the area, maybe a few free kick challenges, a few kick opportunities rather, against Charlotte. Though I'm kind of concerned about Charlotte is going to be really up for this game. They just lost against Philadelphia 2-0. They've had a taste of success at home. And how are they going to respond against Atlanta United? Because to someone else's. What is happening?
Sorry.
Kevin's just trying to break your concentration. Keep going, Dan.
We had. Oh man, who said it on there? I've totally lost it. Anyway, so
Just trying to set the tone, man.
I'm worried that I'm not worried. I'm kind of confident that Charlotte are just not going to have the mental toughness, and are going to be really up for this game. So I could see them having a lot of like panic situations. And as that was who it was. It wasn't Carl. It was maybe it was Carl. So we seemed a lot calmer against DC than we usually have. And I feel like that we can bring that mental toughness with us to Charlotte and potentially outpace them, because there's a lot of pressure, I feel like, on Charlotte. They need to get another win at home. They've pissed in the way that we beat them here in Atlanta. And this is something, I mean, they want to beat Atlanta United because we're Atlanta United and we're awesome. But I feel like that mental game is going to be a big part of this. It could be chippy, and Atlanta needs to find ways to go around that. And just take advantage of the mistakes that they eventually, I think, that will make. So, man, a prediction. I think I'm going to go with 2-0 Atlanta. I'm very hopeful. I think that we can take advantage of their mistakes, even potentially without Joseph Martinez. I'm putting a lot of faith in Almada and Moreno and Sosa Navarra, who I imagine will feature starting. So I would like to build on our success in DC and see where the team goes from here. All right, now I'm going to hear whatever shit you've been doing.
Kevin just put this out.
The dead.
That's actually pretty good. You got some pretty good outro music. So, Dan, you're saying it's a rivalry now.
No, I'm saying they want it. I'm saying they want it, but we're just going to kind of pass around them and beat them. It's interesting. They've played the first 3 games. They played a 5-4-1. So, the first 2 games they played a 5-4-1, and then against us they played more of a 4-1-4-1. So they still stack the midfield, but they want to play. But their only wins have come when they've played 2 up top against New England, where they won 3-1, and they beat Cincinnati 2-0, I believe. And then they lost again against Philadelphia when they reverted back to that 5-4-1. So I could imagine, Philadelphia have given us fits with 2 strikers up top in the past. I wonder if they will do the same, because surely they want to look at changing something up here.
Who is their second striker? Obviously, they have Karol Swiderski, who's been the one scoring goals for them. Is it who was it? Yeah, I don't even know. They definitely, like you said, they played a 4-1-4-1 against us, but
Ortiz.
Because they picked up somebody. Didn't they pick up somebody from Nashville too on their bench?
Daniel Rios.
Yeah, Daniel Rios. Yeah, I don't know. They don't. I like that. I like what you were saying, Dan, or like it makes sense that they're going to be charged and amp ready for this game, and they're maybe going to be prone for some mistakes, like overcommitting, and especially against, in front of a ruckus, probably now, probably 15,000 in the crowd.
No wonder Jessica Charman didn't want to come on this podcast.
She's too busy praising the heavens that
she's too busy having a successful career in sports.
Ozzy Alonso. She's over there with her voodoo dolls, just poking holes in our starting players. And why do you think that Alonso got hurt?
Oh, voodoo dolls, right?
Yeah, the dark.
Thanks,
arts,
Will.
exactly.
Thanks for starting that, Will.
Wait, what?
So some score predictions from around the trap. 2-2 draw from Brittany S. Chiefs coach Steve. 2-0. Elliot Bevan 1-1. Ingest 100 1-1. John Joyave, whatever. 2-1 down early, another 90 plus.
I like Joyave. It's got to be Joyave, right?
Can it
Gotta
be
be.
Hoyave?
Joyave, yeah.
I think we go with the 5-5.
Sorry, John.
What? I'm so dumb.
I think we go with the 5-5-0 Madrid special. I guess
Saying we don't
Real
play a
Madrid
striker
Oh,
like
played
Dan was
5
talking about.
defenders, 5 midfielders.
No, 5 defenders, 5 attackers.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
No, I'm just kidding.
Carl Segi 3-1. Dirty Bird Person 0-0. I'll say 1-0 Atlanta.
I like Dan's score prediction. I'll go with the 2-0.
2-0.
I think Almada and Marcelino Moreno both score a goal.
I think Alan Franco scores a goal.
God, I love a good butt rock riff.
Here comes the Danlo.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's charging his shot.
Ooh, I like that little riff in the background. Wee, wee. All right. This is like whenever we were doing Banter podcasts and we found out that there was a built-in soundboard on whatever we were recording on. Tim, what were we recording on back then? Skype?
I just remember you got a Google review that said, please no more sound effects. I do remember that. In
We were
Jess
doing canned
100,
laughter and stuff like that. It was so
in Jess
great.
100 says, who should our striker be? So we're thinking if Joseph is out, who are you going to start? You're going to start Dom or you're going to start Conway? Because surely
I
you're
think
not
you got to
gonna
start
Ronaldo.
Dom. I think you have to start Dom.
Right. And then who are you going to bring in?
Jackson Conway.
Jackson Conway. Not going to
I think
give
maybe
Ronaldo
Cisneros
out?
too. Yeah, you bring Cisneros out maybe if we're in the lead. If we got a comfortable lead towards the end of the game. Time wasting.
Ooh. Oh, comfortable lead, yeah. But if we're losing,
No, you don't bring him in. You tell Dom to just run it out.
yeah, until he gets sent off.
Yeah.
I am really interested because we know nothing about Cisneros. We know nothing about him at all. So I'm really interested to see what he can do.
No, I agree completely.
All right. Anything else for tonight, guys?
No.
Alrighty. Well, hopefully it's a win for the good guys in either case, no matter what the score is. So, in the meantime, if you guys want to hang out with us after the show, where can the folks find you guys? Dan?
You can find me at DNJMS on Twitter, though I'm not really on there much anymore. Or you can find me on Peloton or To the Power of Dan. And I've got to give some shout outs because now my followers are in the 4 figures. Can you believe that? So Cojito, Doesn't Give Up, Key Hunter, Leg of the Third, and Zero
All
Samus.
Russian.
We can all Russian bots or the
Wait, 4 figures?
4
You have-
figures. Yep. 0014.
Oh, I don't think you understand what 4 figures means, Dan. You might want to talk to your boss about your salary. I don't think you're making 6 figures.
Yep. To get on the fitness.
Tim, where can they find you?
I don't know. You can find me on email. I don't.
What's your email? What's your social? What's the street that you grew up on?
You can find me on Gab and Truth Social, and on 4chan at To the Power of Dan. No, you can find me on Instagram, I guess. I have like archive content. I haven't posted on there in forever. At Tim Herb. Yeah.
Oh, do you want to took World Cup draw?
Oh yeah, guess we probably should.
America.
Netherlands.
What's your group of death?
I don't know. Are you following Netherlands, Kevin? That's your team.
That's who I normally follow in international, like not in the tournaments. I don't really follow them so much in qualifying and stuff like that. But international play normally for international tournaments, I'll follow Netherlands along with the U.S. So
Gotcha. Just wanted to make sure you knew the U.S. were playing in the World Cup.
I feel good about that group. I just don't. I really hope Wales doesn't end up being the team to qualify for the 4th spot, because I think I fear them more than the other two.
You fear them more than Ukraine?
Yeah.
Man, I am thinking Ukraine gets through that. They must have got to have so much motivation behind them right now I mean, I'll be surprised if they're not the team that gets through.
You think so? The way that Gareth Bale's playing?
Yeah, well, I mean, when your country's being invaded and you're trying to look for all sort of bits of hope, then yes, if you are one of those players who can bring hope to your country, to people who are getting murdered and mass executions and graves being uncovered, then yeah, you're going to put absolutely everything you can inhumanly possible put on there. I think they have more motivation than anybody. I mean, surely they get in and they become the darlings of the tournament.
Oh yeah, if they're in, they certainly will be.
Yeah, a Dirty Bird person, I don't think Ukraine's going to be distracted at all. I feel like this just focuses them even more.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, what's your group of death, Tim?
The Spain, Germany, Costa Rica, Japan. Yeah, that group is pretty fucking stacked. Costa Rica is probably the worst team in that group of 4.
It's not as bad as it was during the last World Cup, where it had, was it Spain, Germany, and Portugal all in one group?
I think so. Yeah. Spain aren't necessarily who they used to be.
No, but
unfortunately.
Still.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to get a notification each and every time we go live, so you can join us in the trap, hang out with the good folks. Thank you to all of you who continue to make this so much fun. If you want to talk to us on Twitter, you can find us collectively at Home Before Dark. That's before spelled B and the number 4. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. As always, be home before dark.
Fuck Putin.